Hello, 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 and a very warm welcome to every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And let me take this opportunity to welcome our guest for today. But before I introduce Shweta, let me share a little story about Nalanda University. Some of you may have heard about Nalanda University, which was one of the biggest universities in the world with maximum number of books anywhere in the world. So India was actually the capital which had the maximum number of literature and knowledge. It was supposed to be the knowledge base. And somewhere in the 12th century, there was Bhaktiar Khilji who came and decided to burn it down. Apparently, it took all of 6 months for the university to completely burn down. That is how many books and papers it had, right? So here we have with us Sweta Samota, and her mission is to make India the author capital of the world to bring back the glory of Nalanda. Yeah. So welcome, Shweta, and thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Divya. Thank you so much for having me here, and I look forward to interacting and discussing with you. Thank you so much. And to others, watching, I'm sure this is going to be something that you would want to listen over and over again. So thank you for being there and stay till the end.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. If you're watching us live, type hashtag live. And if you're watching a replay of this, type hashtag replay. Okay. And let me take a little more time to introduce Shweta in her full form, right? So, Shweta is a engineer turned best-selling author and book coach, and she is founder of India Authors Academy. And in the last 4 years, she has mentored more than 6,000 individuals to help them write their books. She herself has written 12 books. She's written and published 12 books. All of them have been bestsellers. And she's a winner of the Story Award by the She the People TV, winner of Indian Women Entrepreneur of the Year Award by Nergia Brands, awarded the Best Book Coach, Author, and Speaker at Global Fame Award 2022. She's a TEDx speaker and she's also run a full marathon. Okay, so Shweta, you are this all rounder, the kind of person that most of us want to become, right? And so the first thing that I want to know, and I'm sure everybody here who's watching wants to know, is how did you go from being an engineer to a best-selling author coach?
So thank you for that lovely introduction, Divya. Even I am surprised. I never thought that I was going to coach people, and that too for books. So the journey has been a roller coaster ride in itself, but I am a follower of Osho as well, and just go with the flow.
Nice.
And software engineer, when we start, we have certain dreams, and when they get fulfilled, and if we have nothing more, then sometimes you get depressed. When your things to look up to and look after, there's nothing. So that's what happened with me. I come from a very orthodox family, a middle class family, and where females were not allowed to study, to dream of being independent financially, to go and do a job or have your own business empire. So I come from that family, and for me, I always look up to key. I want to be independent, financially independent. I wanted to be a strong woman, and I didn't want myself to be seen like my mother in the kitchen. I've seen my mother cry a couple of times. She was not happy. So those days, 80s, she was the only English graduate in our family, and I come from a family of uh, joint family of like 50 plus people in the house, business family.
Okay.
So I thought ki chalo abhi engineer ban gaye. It's a big achievement in itself. I scored 100% in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. I,
Wow.
and I got Dhirubhai Ambani scholarship. See, I didn't leave any chance, anything that my parents or my grandparents said, "No, you cannot do this." So I
Right.
excelled in it so that everyone supported me in my journey. And I'm really grateful to my family that they allowed me to study. I'm the first woman from my family to actually study outside, meaning go to a hostel and study engineering. Now, when I did engineering, I felt that chalo bhi, it's a big thing. got a really great job. If you check my LinkedIn profile,
Hmm.
I worked with the best of the world, not just in
Wow.
India. I
Wow.
was like someone like Shah Rukh Khan in Swades. Um, that you are
Nice.
at a great place, but you're not satisfied. So that thing happened only after a few years in the industry. See, I love coding, but then not the kind of things that we get to work in software industry, software
Right.
companies.
Right.
So got bored of it. Somewhere realized, कि नहीं, it's not for me.
Hmm.
I felt lost. So, just like every software engineer wants to have their own $1 million company, I also, with those dreams in my heart and head, so एक startup चालू किया.
Hmm.
And startup didn't work out the way we thought that it's going to work out. It just didn't take off that way. So 3 years into startup, and I was deep into deep shit. Sarah savings burned, and confidence low, and I was like suffering from now depression कि ये कैसे हो गया, एक 100% एक बेस्ट कंपनी में काम करने वाली एंड सडनली एक फेलियर. I could not handle that failure. So it was like 1 year then, just lying in my room looking at that moving fan, कि अब क्या करें, just like that cat who's crying over spoiled milk or something like that, कि I could not handle that failure. It was like tough for me because it was one of the first failures of my life, and also learned a lot from that failure. I wouldn't be here if I had not failed there. So
Hmm.
I'm so grateful today when I look back, कि I'm so thankful कि it failed. So
Right.
अगर वो चल जाता तो शायद I would not have found myself. So
Hmm.
1 year into agoraphobia, and then how I started running.
Okay.
Just imagine someone who is afraid of going out of the house was running at 2:30 a.m., 3:30 a.m. preparing for
Wow.
the full marathon. This didn't happen like overnight. Of course,
Hmm.
2 3 years, it took me 2 3 years to actually get there. But yes, that's how it happened. And one book changed my life in this journey. That is Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananji. And when that book happened, life changed.
Wow.
And Modi ji started following me on Twitter. And actually, I always tell this, and people think he boast kar rahi hai, but I'm not boasting, because when he started following me on Twitter, that's when I thought I want to write a book on him. So
Right.
that's how the entire author thing happened. See,
Wow.
I had published one book in 2007-8, but
Okay.
I was not so serious about my author journey. When he followed me, I
Hmm.
actually thought it seriously. "Nahi, I have to do something for him." So
Hmm.
that's my fourth book, Nine. And for writing that book, I attended a lot of workshops in Mumbai. And that's how my writing journey, author journey began. And then coaching journey again, I never thought that I was going to coach people कि लोगों को सीखना होगा. Never ever thought.
Hmm.
So seeing my books, people started asking कि चलो come and coach us, or you take a free session. For like more than a year and a half, I used to take free sessions,
Hmm.
and
Wow.
I got into coaching. So very organically, nothing planned. So that's how
Right.
it happened for me.
Such a beautiful story, and thank you so much for sharing. All the details of that, because sometimes when we look at people who are very successful today, it's so easy to assume that they have had all the right conditions and the right support and the right situations and circumstances, and that's what brings them here. And I think your story is evidence to the fact that it is people who keep going despite the circumstances and situations who actually make it. So thank you for sharing that. A couple of things, a couple of questions came to my mind as you were sharing your story, because on one you said about how it was all organic and nothing was planned. At the same time, okay, I see that there were things that you made your goal or intention along the way. You may not
Yes.
have had the final goal in front of you, right? But there were things that you said, okay, I want to run, and I want to run a full marathon, and or I want to have a startup, or I want to write a book. So can you tell us a little about that, that despite the fact that you may not have had known, okay, this is what I'm going to do 10 years, 15 years from now, did you have some kind of intention or goals that you had for yourself?
So when I started running, I didn't have the intention of running a full marathon because I didn't believe that I could do a full marathon.
It's a
For
tough one, yeah.
someone who could not walk, forget about running, walk 500 meters, that was out of my league altogether. But
Right.
then I set a small goal. I started with a 30-day challenge. So
Nice.
Ajit Pathak from Pinkathon, he
Mm.
actually gave me a challenge that can you do 100 kilometers in 30 days. Okay, so that was like fairly not so easy. 30, that means 3.3
3
kilometers
kilometers.
every day.
Correct, correct.
So small goal every day. That's how I started, and I was like, okay, ye kar lete. And then next he said, okay, can you do 200 kilometers in 30 days? So that was
Mm.
like on on weekends, long runs. So
Mm.
that's how I started. Then my first goal was running my 5 kilometer. You know,
Nice.
then it was 10,
Mm.
and every time I was to just see the next goal.
Mm.
21 was also like I just pushed myself कि अभी 10 कितना करेंगे? So चलो 21.
Right,
So
right.
after I did 21, there was a run. We generally run from Mumbai to Pune. So
Mm.
Pinkathon has this run from Mumbai to Pune or to Pune to Mumbai. And for that, you
Mm.
have to prepare. So I was like,
Mm.
let me prepare. So it's called Spirit of Pinkathon Run, where
Mm.
women,
Mm.
just like you and me, with
Mm.
no training as such, amateurs, they
Mm.
run from Mumbai to Pune in 3 days. That's like
Mm.
65 kilometers every day. So I was like, chalo,
Wow.
let me prepare. Let me
Mm.
prepare for this.
Mm.
And that's how I started preparing. And
Mm.
उसमें full marathon फिर बहुत छोटा लगने लगा. Why? Because now I learned that if I have a big goal, small
Mm.
goal becomes easier.
Mm.
So
Wow.
two
That's enough.
things I learned. One is just look at for the next goal. So
Mm.
that's how I reached till 21. उसके बाद I looked at a bigger goal. So
Mm.
thoda confidence also I had got in
Mm.
this process. Similarly for books, if you see my first three books, they're
Mm.
small books. They're called novella or short.
Mm.
For my authors also, I don't ask them to go for like write 1 lakh words or 80,000 words. I
Mm.
always tell them set a small goal for yourself.
Mm.
You're not here for one book. You're
Mm.
here for a long journey with me.
Mm.
So start with 20,000 words or even 10,000 words is good. So
Wow.
for my first three books are small books. Then my
Nice.
nine is like a longer book. For that, I took like more than a year, over 2 lakh words I wrote because I was so passionate about covering Modi ji's journey in it,
Mm.
and I had to research a lot. And then it was like cut, edited to 60, I think 70, 80,000 words. So
Oh, okay.
1 lakh words chopped off.
Wow.
So, and then later on also, I focused on doing small books, bigger books like this only. Okay, so
Right.
this is how I've done, full
I,
marathon books as well.
That's I think that's beautiful what you shared. Because what I'm hearing you say is also, there are two parts to it. One is setting milestone, the next milestone, the next milestone, right? Which seems achievable, and the moment you complete one, the next seems achievable. So you didn't keep your focus on, oh, like I want to do this big thing, but you kept focusing on the next thing,
Also,
and
I want to add here is,
mm,
Divya, sorry to interrupt you,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is
Go ahead, go ahead.
that what worked for me is also seeing other women do it. The environment really helped. If I were alone, and I was doing alone earlier,
Mm,
700 meters used to be like a big task for me. The
yeah.
moment I joined a community and
Mm,
I saw, okay, ye kar rahe, and
mm,
they are like 10 years older to me or 20 years elder to me, and they are able to do it, why can't
yeah,
I?
yeah.
So that really switched on something else for me. So that is good goal setting,
Mm,
but also a community where you get inspired from seeing others do it. That really helped me and also gave me goals. Nahi wo kar sakte, I should go for the next bigger goal. So
yeah.
that really helped, and others also pushed me.
Wow, wow. So environment. In fact, we were for a program together, and Blessinger said, our mentor, he said that environment is more powerful than willpower, and that is so
Yes,
true. And I can so connect with this example that you're giving, because when I started my running journey, also, it was like, oh gosh, 1 kilometer, oh gosh, 2 kilometers. But when you join a community of people who are all runners, they're
yeah,
doing 21 and they're doing 40 and they're doing 15 every day. So suddenly,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So that makes so much of sense. And the second thing, also, I noticed that in all of this, you were not aiming for, like, you just pushed yourself to take the next step rather than setting something and saying, okay, let me do this perfectly. So did you like, would you say you went after, would you call yourself a perfectionist, or would you call yourself
I'm
somebody?
not. Exactly. I'm the totally opposite girl, or a person where
Hmm.
I aim to just finish it. For me, finishing is more important than anything else. I don't care about my timing. I
Hmm.
don't care about, कि मुझे इस दिन ही करना है. I'm
Hmm.
very, so I give that permission to myself to even fail.
Right.
So I'm not a perfectionist. For
Hmm.
books also, if you had to go after perfectionism, you can sit on your book for 10 years and not publish it.
And I've seen people like that actually.
Yes.
So
So
yeah.
I am totally opposite of that. In fact, a lot of times my family members also say that, thoda theek se karo. And I'm like, no, I'm good with it. And I can always improve later. I can,
Hmm.
so I know Steve Jobs says, and others also say that what do your best, and I give my best there. But
Hmm.
I cannot just keep hanging around, not doing it.
Right.
I love to finish it.
Right. And because I also remember you saying that, that failure was a big one and like hit you hard and all of that. How did you go from that place of, oh gosh, I can't fail, to okay, failure is okay. Like I'm just going to keep doing. How did that
Mm.
shift happen?
So it didn't happen overnight, actually. It
Okay.
took me a lot of time to actually come and speak openly about it,
Right.
and not have tears. That shows that I've healed. But for first 2.5 years, it was really tough. I
Hmm.
used to cry like anything, and I used to have several sensations in my body.
Hmm.
So I had to take medications also for it. I
Right.
had to visit a psychologist also for it. Although he didn't counsel me because he thought that I would get over it through pills. But
Medication.
writing helped, reading helped, and running helped. These three things actually helped me go off the pills. So
Okay.
the doctor never told me that you can get off the pills by doing different things, but I think probably blessings of my ancestors, my mentors, and whatever good deeds I might have done, that
Hmm.
I just focused on these three things, and I never needed to then take the pill again.
Wow.
So failure, I think also running helped. Running is meditation. Running is really therapeutic, and every time I used to run, I used to feel so good. So I think physically, when you run, you actually secrete those hormones, the endorphins. That
Yeah.
helped
Yeah.
to shift my thought process. Also, writing and reading a lot. So, I went on a reading marathon. I used to read one book a day to distract myself so that I don't get those negative thoughts again and again. So,
Hmm.
just to distract myself, I used to read a lot of books, and that's how naturally I thought, chalo, ab likh lete hai book. So,
Hmm.
that also helped in writing, and writing then became a healing process for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Shweta, because I think it's so important for so many people to hear this what you just said. Because I've also worked in the emotional wellness space where once you get onto pills, and unfortunately there are quite a few professionals, medical professionals, who tell you that once on a pill, then you have to take it for lifetime. And I
Exactly. I was
think what you
told the same thing.
Yes, yes. So I work with people, and I work with people to take them off the pills, and it's hard work because else is saying, when a person in a position of authority tells you that you cannot come off pills, then it's a fight, right? So first of all, first hats off to you for doing that on your own, right? And second of all, for sharing it here, because I think that gives hope to a lot of people that just because you have gone into depression or any kind of mental health concerns doesn't mean that that's going to be your state all life, and doesn't mean you have to be on pills.
Yeah.
Pills can help for a certain period of time, and you can also come out of it,
They
right?
definitely help you, but
Yeah.
it's not going to cure you. So you
Yes.
have to take some measures, some precautionary measures. And one more thing I want to add here is get your B12 checked, because sometimes its deficiency also leads to anxiety and depression.
Right.
Doctors, I don't know why they don't advise, But
Hmm.
later on, I figured out that I was always low on B12. I was low
Hmm.
on iron. So I don't even know now what was that,
Actual
at that
cause.
time. Okay,
Hmm.
yes.
Okay, got that. Yeah, thanks. I think that's also useful for anybody who's listening here. Do leave your comments if you're watching this, and let us know your thoughts, and any questions that you have, put that in, because as and when we cover these questions, we'll come back to your questions. Yeah, and Shweta, I also want to I think what you shared is very important, and I also want to come back to that question about where did that shift happen, where your own realization that failure is not a bad thing, or like, did that happen? Was that a noticeable moment for you, or?
Lot of times it happened. And I think probably after reading that book, Autobiography for Yogi,
Mm,
I started getting these thoughts ki, if it has failed, there's something more for me. Okay.
mm,
There's opportunity, something else for me there.
right.
Probably that was not meant for me.
Mm,
So now also I keep, if there's something that is not working for me, that's a positive sign that it
mm,
is only making me better.
okay.
And I need to pull up my socks and be better. If not, if something is not working, or my session it didn't go well, or something like this happened, it just gives me a sign that okay, let's be better. So
Mm,
that shift happened probably when I read that book, Autobiography for Yogi, but I cannot pinpoint that there was a moment.
exact, right, yeah, but I
Um,
think this makes sense, and I think this is even better because sometimes we think that people have a certain personality where they already see failure is not a big deal, or you have the other personality where failure is a big deal. But in your case, you're saying that it was a transition. It was different moments that brought it to light for you, and now you are at a place where you remind yourself all the time that if this didn't work out, that's fine, it's just an opportunity for me to do something better.
I also tell myself that if this is not happening, maybe bigger things are there for me.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah, that's
So
that's nurturing.
I always tell people that ye nahi hua to it's good.
Hmm.
It's good. It was never meant to be for you. Let's
Hmm.
go for the next big thing. So
Beautiful. And tell me, Shweta, one of the things that really keeps people down sometimes, despite all the capabilities that they have sometimes, is this inability to manage your mind and, negative thoughts. And I heard you say that you were reading one book a day so that you could kind of keep your mind focused on one thing, right? So, what are some methods that you use for yourself which helps you to stay in the right frame of mind? Because that's so important for you to be able to make progress
so
on.
one thing is always target one big thing for the day. For
Okay.
me, it is exercising. So something that is tough,
Hmm.
you target that first thing in the morning, because
Okay.
when you do that, your confidence like soaring. Ki,
Hmm.
"Arey, I've done this big thing in the morning itself." And for my
Hmm.
author community, I always tell them, eat that frog first thing in the morning. Work on the things that you're supposed to work first thing in the morning, because then the entire day is like, wow, first thing, big fish nikal gayi. Ab to jo bhi hai bonus hai. So
Love that. I love that. Yeah.
so
Fantastic.
that's how I do it. That's how I do.
Okay. Okay. So one, you do reading, you do writing, and you tell yourself, get one thing done, and the rest of the day starts to feel like you've achieved much.
So yes, for me, exercise is also part of my daily routine. Exercise every single day.
Wow.
Also, a spiritual person, so maybe puja or little bit of chanting that I do on a daily basis. So with this, failure process, earlier I didn't used to do chanting and puja a lot,
Hmm.
but now I'm very particular about it, that I want to do it. So I like it. I like doing it. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. I've rediscovered, or I found myself, I started enjoying things earlier. I was not enjoying, and that is why I didn't feel to be in that space.
Hmm.
Now I want to be with myself. I have fun with myself.
Wow.
So, and I do things that I love to do.
Hmm.
That's also very important, that not to get into that race of what everyone is doing, even I'm going to do it. But
Hmm.
when you enjoy doing, when you do the things that you enjoy doing, then obviously you will get things more of things that you love to do.
Nice.
You
So tell me,
could,
sorry, complete
no, no,
what you
no,
were.
go ahead, Divya. I was
So the
just completing
question,
it.
yeah, the question that I had for you was, like given the kind of busy person that you are, you have so much, you have a thriving business, you are writing your own books, you are helping other people write, and I know for a fact that you are running multiple webinars, and you have your coaching calls, weekly coaching calls with your people. So much going on. How do you find the time to do things that you like doing? Because when you are in this kind of a business, when you're running your own business, it's so easy to get caught up because there's always something or the other to do,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
how do you make time for doing things that you like doing?
So one thing is I really love to be with my community.
Hmm.
So when I'm doing webinars or my inner circle calls, I
Hmm.
actually enjoy them.
Hmm.
So that's not really work for me. That's something that I enjoy. Now, other thing is if I have to give more or if I have to learn, that's also imbibed right from my childhood that I always loved learning new things and I
Hmm.
never thought that I know everything. So, for example, AI came
Hmm.
and it was now time for me to quickly learn AI tools and give that to my community,
Right.
empower my community. So
Right.
it was not that difficult for me.
Hmm.
I can't tell you, how I felt, how privileged I felt having come from a software background and all dots connected.
Wow. Yeah, that's
All
amazing.
dots connected ki, oh my god, I can understand this AI thing and I can understand what is going, I can use it in a better way than anyone else because I know coding and I know things that can make it better for my community. uh,
Beautiful.
I took just like 2 days to learn AI tools for my community.
Wow. Awesome.
So learning is fun and I love learning. So things I love to do, I
Hmm.
find that first thing, ek to I love running on the road. I
Hmm.
don't like to run on the treadmill.
Hmm.
So ek to I get out of the house and run first thing in the morning.
Hmm.
Other thing I love to do is reading. So that I've clubbed it with my existing activities like with having after breakfast or with lunch or dinner or after that. That's how I do. Or just before going to sleep, I do read stuff.
Hmm.
So I clubbed it with my existing activities.
Okay, okay. So you fitted it in with a routine that already exists. So it's, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and also I love to watch web series or movies. So
Wow.
even if I get like 10 minutes while having food, I switch on my television or on my laptop. I take a 10-minute break, I watch it, and I'm back. And sometimes to save time, you know what I do for,
Hmm.
especially for web series. Now,
Hmm.
web series are like long, and
Yeah.
if that's like Korean drama, so that there'll be 20 episodes or 15 episodes for 1 hour each. How can I spend so much time?
Yeah.
I watch first 2, 3 episodes, and rest of it I read. So I read and get it done in one day. सारा पढ़ लिया तो रीडिंग हो गया and watching का watching हो गया मेरा मुझे पता लग गया क्या चल रहा है.
Okay, wow. That's a hack. I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
So
But thanks
I've
for sharing.
done that for for a long time to save
Mm,
my time and also to feed myself because
mm,
I love that.
mm,
So for a long time I used to even read episode like if there are daily soaps and
mm,
I don't have time and I
mm,
want to know कि क्या हुआ. So I'll
mm,
just look for written updates of daily soaps as well.
mm.
5 minutes में हो गया episode and I got my food.
That's it. That's amazing. That truly is amazing. So thanks for that hack. And one more question that I had for you as you were sharing this, so because you have given us some real nice productivity hacks, especially, what you were just sharing about feeding your mind what you like doing is so important because I think many of us can make that secondary. And in the long run, I don't think it helps any of us. Right. So the physical exercise that you spoke about and doing things that you love, I think those were really, really beautiful. And Shraddha, you said that you like learning, so you anyway enjoy doing things. So, is there anything at all that you don't like? Because most people have something or the other about the work. Even if you are in the job that you're passionate about, invariably there's something or the other which you don't enjoy doing. Yeah. So, in your case, is it that you don't have anything like that at all, or you have? And if you do have something like that, how do you manage to do that, even when you
Okay,
feel like
so I'm a little introvert, and for me, it's difficult to actually talk to strangers or talk to people. And because I have limited time, I cannot talk to each and every community member,
Hmm,
my community member.
hmm,
So what I did was I made it a paid thing, so exclusive thing.
hmm,
So I don't talk to my community members because I don't enjoy it. Plus, I don't have time as well for that.
hmm, hmm,
So I leverage it. So
hmm,
things that I don't like much,
hmm,
I made it a paid thing. So if someone has to, really get consulting one on one with me, they have
hmm,
to pay a hefty fee. So
hmm.
I get comfortable and happy. Okay, so it's being handled. So yeah, I'm not really a very social person.
Right,
I
right.
So that's how I have handled it.
Right.
Otherwise,
So is there
I
stuff
think
like, technology, but you said you are actually comfortable with technology.
I love it.
Okay.
You can
Mm,
connect the dots now, Divya.
mm,
Matlab, I
mm,
can see the entire journey that I've gone through. Ki probably it was written for to happen for my good.
mm. And I think that's beautiful because I think in everybody's life, because I have shifted careers multiple times, and things like I worked in hotels. I was a hotelier, and that has nothing to do with what I do today, right? But there are certain mindsets that I learned from being a hotelier, which even today serves me a lot. And I think that, and it's true for everybody, that no matter what your journey has been, you are at the right place at the right time, and you have everything that you need to be able to
Yes.
be able to be successful.
I also feel that everything that you have been given, be it a failure or a success, okay,
Hmm,
एक तो बोल सकते हैं nothing has meaning, don't take life too seriously, or everything that is given to you has some purpose. Either it's going to teach you something, or
hmm,
it's going, like, you are going to take learnings from there and apply it somewhere else.
hmm.
So जो भी हुआ है अच्छे के लिए हुआ है. Everything is for our own good. That's what I feel.
I totally agree with you. And I think it's taken me growing a little older to, realize that and acknowledge that. Yeah. And so, Shweta, this has been a beautiful conversation. Now, if you had to tell us, in conclusion, if you had to tell us, one or three, if you can come up with three, but if that's too much, one or three success mantras, that you think would help everybody and that you don't see a lot. Like, I think one of the things that I had in my mind is there are people who are very talented and very capable, right? And yet they don't get the results, right? So, what is the success mantra that you think for yourself, and you have seen it, because I know that you are also surrounded by a lot of other people who are achieving on a daily basis, right? What are these, two or three things that you have noticed which separates people who are achievers?
So one thing is hard work beats talent.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
right from my school days, I've seen more talented, people than me,
Mm,
and I've always beaten them. Be
mm,
it my score, be it on the field. So for people who are smarter, but and if they're not doing it enough, it's
mm,
not that they're not seeing success. They're
mm.
not pursuing it enough. It's
Right.
just that they are digging and then they are like, यहाँ diamond नहीं है, चलो कहीं और ढूंढते हैं. Diamond is there beneath you. You
Mm,
just have to dig a little longer. So
mm.
consistency matters a lot.
Beautiful.
If you are consistent, you can beat anyone in this world. Okay? Michael Phelps,
Mm.
he did like running, like not running, sorry, swimming 365 days. And even including Sundays.
Right.
Whereas other athletes, other swimmers used to take Sunday off. So
Mm,
he got that edge over others because he
mm,
was consistently training for 5 to 6 hours every day.
mm.
So consistency, if people say that I cannot do it, I tell them like you don't have 10 minutes for yourself.
Mm.
10 minutes of exercise, you don't have to like spend hours. Do 1 minute of plank for next 1 year and come back to us and
Mm.
see tell us what is the difference you see. So that's number one mantra of success:
Mm.
consistency.
Right.
Second is lifelong learning.
Mm.
So even if you're very good, this
Mm.
sure there is something more that you can learn on a daily basis. Even Robin Sharma adds that you should learn something every week. So there should be a dedicated hour or 30 minutes or even 10 minutes
Mm.
every day for learning. That if you learn something, say 0.1% or 1%, imagine like in 1 year how much you would have learned. So
True.
again, consistency plus lifelong learning
Mm.
that will give you again, you will become better and better. And again, you can beat anyone else who has been better than you.
Yes.
So that second thing is lifelong learning.
Mm.
And third thing is having a mentor that really, really helps. For
Wow.
me also, I guess you and me are now right now in the same community of its
Mm.
Conflict Club. So mentor they
Absolutely.
have. So you imagine you are on the road and your
Mm.
mentor is on a truck. They can see a lot far. You are driving a scooty, you don't see two vehicles ahead. Your mentor is
Mm.
in a truck or maybe a little above. So they
Mm.
can see way ahead. And
Mm.
they've been on this journey for a long time. For me,
Mm.
mentor Babaji really helped. So when
Mm.
I read that book, Autobiography for Yogi, I realized that, अरे mentor ही नहीं है life में किधर से life ठीक होगी. So that moment I resolved that I want a mentor. And I started chanting, I started praying every single day, send me mentors. And also,
Mm.
I got a lot of mentors, and I continue to be mentored by different mentors. So
Nice.
there's a third thing, step for success or step of success is have a mentor who has done
Beautiful.
it. Because if you're smart, you don't want to do the same mistake that someone else has done.
Yeah.
So go to a mentor and get their learnings. It will save you time, effort, and when we go through failures, sometimes it's very difficult to come out of it, and you can save that energy, that loss of confidence, and whatever you want to call, and put that effort in doing something that fills your heart. Fourth
Mm.
thing is live a life of purpose. I was not happy because I didn't have a purpose ना खत्म हो गया था इंजीनियरिंग मिल गया मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर का जॉब मिल गया I had an
Mm.
amazing salary bank
Mm.
account was like soaring लेकिन I was not happy क्यों purpose नहीं ना there was no
Mm.
purpose because of purpose no passion in life no energy that's why it all spiraled down so
Mm.
if you live a life of purpose even at the age of 60 or 70 you will be filled with passion and energy and you would want to do more and more so that's a fourth thing that you find your purpose. If you don't have a purpose, start with something small. For me, I
Mm.
didn't stumble upon my purpose. I say I kept
Mm.
doing, and now I have this big purpose now to make India the author capital of the world. And finally, I've got like a lifelong purpose, or maybe birth, maybe 2 3 births may हो जाएगा. But I've kept this year
इसी
20
बात में हो जाएगा for sure.
2030 tak, I want to make India the author capital. That's like 7 years. We are like
Mm.
1.5 lakh books behind the US and China. So let's
Wow.
see. So 7 years may I want to make this 1 million. So 10 lakh books. If we publish, we will be the author capital of the world. So
Wow.
I think that's. I have more lessons, but yes, I think we can start with these.
That's fantastic. Write 4P in the comments. 4P is for 4 principles of success, the beautiful ones that Shweta has shared with us, if you find that useful. So, thank you, Shweta. This has been such a beautiful conversation, and you've given us such amazing tips on how we can keep making progress, keep achieving the things that we want to, how we can stay persistent, manage our mind, manage our lives. Yeah. Thank you so very much. I don't see any questions, but there'll be a lot of people watching this as a replay. So, but thanks again on behalf of
Thank
everybody
you
who's
very
been
much.
part of this. Yeah, it's been an
Thank you, Divya,
absolute
for
pleasure.
giving me this honor and helping me share something that I've learned to people out here. So it's a great opportunity to be here.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Shweta.
you, thank you,
Yeah.
Divya.
Yeah. And also, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. But do share. What I will be doing is I will be sharing the links to Shweta's masterclass. Where she actually does a masterclass, and you can learn how you can go on to become the best-selling author. And so I'll be sharing all the links under the YouTube video. So make sure that you do. And Shweta, do you have a easy to remember link that you'd like to just share that people can go to
Yes,
quickly?
it's class.shwetasamota.com.
Okay, so it's class.shwetasamota.com. So yeah, you can just register here and start your author journey straight away, right? Yeah, I'm just trying to put it up and see if it's okay. Cool. So I think is that correct, Shweta?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so that's a link, but I will also be putting up the links under the video description so you can go ahead and register for the masterclass. So thank you so much, Shweta, once
Thank
again.
you.
And
Thank you, Divya,
I'm,
for having me here. Okay, it was amazing to share, and I had fun
yes,
sharing
so
it
did I.
with you. Thank you.
Yeah. So everybody have a great day and we'll catch you in the next one. Yeah.
Okay,
Bye
bye
bye.
bye. God bless you.